everyone. Sorry if there is a cat's rear end in your face. Hello everybody, happy Monday. Hope everyone's had a nice day. Oh, 10 people on already, hello. Oh, Lauren and JB are on. Hi Lauren and JB. Hi Mrs Yates, hi Mr Moody. Oh, Mrs Wood's on. Hi, Mrs Wood. Hi, Mr Rotherham. Ah, hi, Das. I'm glad you're listening, Das. Who's that just come on? Sorry. No one wants to see that, Al. Ah, Emily's with her cat again. Al, say hi to Emily's cat. Does your cat love treats as much as my cat, Em? I think he could eat them all day. Oh, Tom's on. Hi, Tom. And Amy Bickley. Hi, Amy. And Ellie May. Hi, Ellie May. I'm glad you like Albie, Tom. Does your cat like Dreamies, Emily? Oh, you've eaten the whole thing. Oh, hi, Caris. Your cat's called Bear. This is Albus, named after Albus Dumbledore, but we call him Albie. Or Fat Albie, affectionately. He doesn't mind. It's just fluff, really, isn't it? He's not really fat. He's just very fluffy. Hi, Miss Watson. Oh, I'm on the big telly, am I, Amy? Wish I'd washed my hair now. What about those bits? You've left some crumbs, Alb. No. 21 people watching now. I'm just going to get my cup of tea. Oh, Sebby and Lucas are on. Hi, Sebby and Lucas. And Ralph. Say hi to Ralph, Al. No, sorry, he's not having any of that, is he? I hope everybody's had a nice day today. Comment and tell me what you've been doing if you want to. I'd like to hear. Oh, Freddie. Xbox with Jack again, that's good. Alana's here. Hi, Alana. Jack, you're eating rich teas. Ah, a boy after my own heart. The packet you gave me is well and truly gone, Jack. I enjoyed them very much. You know me well. I've actually been at school today with Mrs. Wood and Mr. Rotherham and Miss Potter. And we've done an amazing piece of artwork with the 6 children that we had at school today. I'm going to put it on the website later. But I'll try and show you. I think it's backwards, but it says NHS thanks key workers. And we painted it and we've done collage. And then all the little circles are all the different people that are still going to work. So we've got things like the postal service, obviously the NHS, the fire service, food shops, farmers, carers. So look out for that. And we're going to put it on Avenue Road where that slow down sign is that's attached to all the railings. We're going to put it next to there so that anyone driving past can see it. So look out for that. It's really nice. Oh, Katie's on. Hi, Katie. And Alex, if she's with you. Alana's been cleaning all the windows. Oh, I'll get some practice in, and then when we're off lockdown, you can come and clean mine, Alana. Emma's been playing with her cat. Tom has been playing the piano. Hope you've learnt some new tunes for us, Tom. Oh, Lauren's eating rich teas. I'm obviously spreading the rich tea love, aren't I? Lizzie's eating pasta. Yum. Oh, wow. Toby's been learning to play the Imperial March on his brother's keyboard. Ooh, keep practicing, Toby. You can perform it for us when we're back at school. That sounds like a very productive Monday. If I'm not reading any messages out, then type it again. I'm reading all the ones that come up, like I said yesterday. What time is it? Oh, it's 5 past. We'll start. So where had we got to? So Chaya has gone into the prison, hasn't she? She's broken into the prison, and she managed to get through with the help of what was her name? Nawa. With the help of Nawa, she's managed to get through, and then she managed to get the keys, didn't she? Oh, that was it. So she managed to get the keys off somebody called Jans. She dropped down on top of him and grabbed for the keys. Oh, she let the smoke bomb off so that he didn't see her. And then she was just slipping through, and she felt a jerk from behind. Jans lifted her clean off the floor. Oh yeah, that was it. And then she went, really sorry, shouldn't have done that. And his nostrils flared as he brought his face, purple with rage, closer to Chaya's. Caris is eating rich teas too. Caris, a girl after my own heart. All rich teas. Okay, so chapter 14. Jans slammed Chaya against the wall, a sharp pain slicing through her head as it hit the stone. His hands closed around her neck. Hey, wait! Chaya's words were cut off as his hands tightened round her throat. She kicked and clawed at the man, but his grip only increased. She had to do something, or she was going to be of no use to Neil. The world edged into black. Then Chaya slammed onto the ground where she was roughly shaken. A dark face swam into view. What was happening? Has Jans changed his mind? Chaya blinked, and someone yanked her to her feet. Chaya, focus. We need to get out. It wasn't Jans. Neil? Neil's blurry face hovered in front of her. Chaya swallowed down nausea as the view slowly solidified. Jans lay on the floor, blocking the whole passage. Don't worry, said Neil. He's coming to already. Chaya shook her groggy head. Neil, how on earth? The tools you brought me, Chaya. I was soaring all last night. Managed to get out just in time. The tools that she hid in the bottom of the fruit bag. Chaya whooped. Things were on track again. The bunch of keys were on the floor, and she kicked them under the bars to the toothless man in the first cell. There you go, a gift from us. Let's go, Neil. They darted out into the hall and started up the steps, and that was when they saw them. Everyone, and it did look like every single one of the guards had returned, and they were all staring at Chaya and Neil with undisguised anger. Chaya felt pressed in on all sides as the guards surrounded her and Neil. She was swept up in the throng and half dragged, half carried up the stairs and out of the underground prison. On the edge of her vision, Neil was being borne away too. She blinked in the sudden daylight. I think Al's just seen a dog outside. And a whimpering. On the edge of her vision, Neil was being borne away too. She blinked in the sudden daylight. Where are you taking us? Straight to General Siri. Let's see you try and get out of this, said a man. You and your friend can both lose your heads. On the promenade, more guards joined the dozens already surrounding the children, pushing them towards the palace. There was a shout from somewhere above, and Chaya felt a shock ripple through the swarm of guards. Hey, came a familiar voice. A figure stood high up on the steps leading to the inner palace, silhouetted against the giant lion statue. A figure in a floaty red dress. "Hey, fools, look behind you!" yelled Nawa. The throng turned round and the guards went crazy. There were shouts of dismay as they shot off back the way they'd come. Chaya stood on tiptoe to try and see over the people, whatever was going on. All the prisoners had escaped and were currently making their way to freedom. The toothless man from the first cell was at the front, running away merrily. Chaya slipped out of her guard's grasp while he was distracted. He tried to grab her by the plait, but she twisted away from him and ran. Someone stuck out his foot and sent her flying till she landed with a thwack on the gravelled ground, hands outstretched. Another guard brought his foot down over her hand, but she whipped it away just in time and bounded up, sprinting between two other men coming her way. She could see Neil up ahead, also free and running. He slowed down to let her catch up. "No, go, Neil!" shouted Chaya. "Meet you at the jambu tree." Neil sped off. A young guard pulled at her, but she kicked him away. Two of the king's men were heading for her. Chaya changed direction, zigzagging through the formal gardens. One of them was gaining on her. He ran up and caught the edge of her skirt. She plucked it away and turned a corner. A small flight of steps led downwards. Chaya missed her footing and slipped, and went crashing down the steps. She landed in a heap at the bottom. Pain shot through her ankle and she screamed. She bit down on her fist and crawled into a bush of coral flames. "She's here somewhere. She's got to be." There was a sound of thrashing leaves as the men searched through the foliage. Chaya inched her way through the shrubbery. She circled her ankle with her hand and the warmth soothed the pain a little. She couldn't put her weight on it. She'd just have to crawl. How on earth would she get to Neil at the jambu tree? There was a shout of triumph. "Look, she's dropped something." "A box of matches? It was her then. Wait till I get her to General Siri." Chaya dragged herself towards the walled garden. It was at the back of the palace complex and removed from all the action, so quiet and still. She had to bite painfully on her lip to keep herself from crying out every time she moved. It was finished. She was finished. Even if by some miracle she got out of the royal palace safely, she couldn't possibly get to the jambu tree where Neil was waiting. But at least he wasn't in immediate danger anymore, and father would be safe too. Even if she was caught, nothing would be traced back to him. Father had no vested interest in releasing Neil. Even if he lost his job, at least he wouldn't lose his life. Dizziness threatened to overcome her. Chaya squeezed her eyes shut and tried to block out the pain. They would find her. It was over. No! Her eyes flew open. She was no quitter. Chaya hauled herself into the walled garden. The green was quiet with no one in sight. The servants must have left their positions and gone to the front of the complex, drawn by all the chaos. Chaya stood up and ran. A searing pain shot through her leg all the way up. It was useless. She was in too much pain. This was it. They'd find her here eventually. And then, in the distance, through a blur of pain, Chaya saw her getaway vehicle. She hobbled up and untied the chain from the post. Black spots swam in front of her eyes as she scrambled up and felt the calming, gentle sway take her off to find Neil. Ooh. Wonder what's going to happen there. We've got a few more people now. Oh, Brooke's on. Hi, Brooke. Ruby. Oh, Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Steph's on. Oh, and Jess. Oh, give Jess a hug from me, Steph. Luna's come to watch. Oh, and Maria's on. Hi, Maria. Also, hi to Two Mops. I hope you're watching Two Mops. And also to Liam, because the last two videos Liam has commented, but it hasn't come up, so I haven't said hi to him. So I hope you're watching, Liam, and hi. Okay, chapter 15. "What took you so long?" said Neil, as she stumbled over to him at the jambu tree. The pain was slightly better now. She still couldn't put her weight on her foot, but at least she wasn't dizzy with pain. "Are you okay?" Neil looked worried. "Why are you limping? You look ill." "Just tired," said Chaya, "and I hurt my foot. It's not easy, this whole prison break thing." She sank down at the foot of the tree. "We need to leave now. The king must be furious." "Can you walk?" Neil bent down and stared at her foot. "I'm trying to work out where to go." Chaya stood up, holding onto the tree. I know where we shouldn't go. The king's men will search the road out of the village. We need to do something exactly opposite to what they'd expect. We should go deep into the jungle. Are you mad? Said Neil. We're just going to get lost. We have no other choice. Chaya took a step forward and winced. It'll buy us some time till we figure out what to do. You can't go anywhere by the looks of it, said Neil. Chaya, you've done enough. I'll take it from here. Neil, they saw me. Again. It's too late for that now. Neil rubbed his head. What a mess. You can't even walk. How did you get here? I had, some help. Anyway, I do have a way we can go into the jungle. Sprained ankle and all. Come with me. What do you think it is? How do you think she got there from the palace? Chaya led the way, keeping well into the wilderness. She let her foot drag along, careful not to put any weight on it. Neil didn't say much. He looked worried and tired. After all the excitement of the big rescue, it was funny that all they now felt was tired and subdued. Why couldn't you bring the cart with you? Asked Neil. It's not a cart. Come on. Just here, through the trees. There was a scuffling behind them and Neil started. He clutched Chaya and began to drag her with him. Come on, come on. Another stab of pain went through her leg as Chaya tried to hurry. Hey, what are you two doing? Came a voice from behind. Wait for me. Chaya wheeled around, yelping with pain as the weight fell on her injured ankle. Nawa was lumbering towards them, laden with 2 small sacks. I got supplies, she said, puffing and panting. She dropped the 2 bags on the ground near them, one of them falling with a metallic thud. Are you out of your mind? Yelled Chaya. What are you doing here? Nawa stopped and screwed up her face. You're welcome. Some gratitude wouldn't go amiss, you know. Miss Nawa? Neil looked horrified. What are you doing here? How did you even know where we were? I followed you, of course, then quickly nipped back for supplies from home. I guess your friend here, she turned to Chaya, hasn't told you that I helped rescue you, Neelan. Helped? I just asked you to come with me to the temple, and thank you very much for that, but that's it. Now go home and get on with your life. A bang sounded in the distance and they could hear galloping coming from the city. We need to go, said Chaya. Come on, Neil. She ran towards the jungle with Neil, trying not to scream with the pain. Nawa followed them with her bags. Come on, it's just here. She found the place and stopped at the clearing, and there it was, her rather unusual getaway vehicle. Has anyone decided what it is, her getaway vehicle? Neil turned to her in shock. Oh my lord, Chaya, what on earth have you done? I didn't have much of a choice, you know. I was in pain and blacking out, and I had to get out of there without the use of my foot. Nawa shrieked. What kind of kleptomaniac are you? Shut up, I just said I had to steal him to get away. Get on, Neil, we need to go now. But her friend was staring in horror at the gentle bulk of Ananda, the king's own elephant. She's finally stolen the elephant. The girl who stole the elephant has finally stolen the elephant. Ananda's the one that we met, my class anyway, at the start of the book, after she stole from the Queen's bedside table and she was escaping through the palace and through the gardens when there was that party. She hid under Ananda at one point, so they have mentioned him before. And I had a feeling he was the elephant. I think at the time, when we read it in the classroom, we said, I bet he'll come back into it and he'll be the elephant that she steals. So we were right. Oh, Caitlin's on. Hi, Caitlin. Oh, Alana, your hair's purple. Her hair is purple, says Brooke. Oh, nice. Send me a picture. Get Mum to send me a picture, Alana. Mrs. Briscoe's on. Hi, Mrs. Briscoe. Okay, chapter 16. I'm not getting on that thing, said Nawa. Good, said Chaya. We're not asking you to. Neil held up a hand to quieten Chaya. Miss Nawa, I don't know why you came here. Thank you very much for helping us, but your joining us is really dangerous. You must go home. It's a bit late for that, Nawa snorted. I've already been seen. They'll be looking for me now. Hi, Mrs. Thomas. Hope you've had a nice day. Oh, and Max and Tobias love the story too. That's good, Lizzie. Oh, please. This isn't some picnic by the river. Chaya didn't think Nawa was taking this seriously. They were in so much danger. She didn't want an innocent like Nawa, however idiotic, to be dragged in. She went to Ananda, approaching him from his right side, and stroked his grainy hide. Neil, can I talk to you for a minute? Nawa glared at Chaya and walked away a little. She dumped the 2 bags on the ground and turned her back. We're not taking her, Chaya whispered when Neil came to her. No way. You heard what she said, hissed Neil. She can't go back now. But she can't come with us. It's out of the question. Why not? Because, Chaya cast around in her mind for a good enough reason. Because she's a meat eater. Neil frowned. So? What if she gets hungry? She might take a bite of Ananda. Oh, don't be ridiculous. Fine, but it's all on your head then. Chaya patted Ananda's back leg and commanded him to kneel, just like she'd seen the mahouts do. He might not respond to you, said Neil. Sure he will. He's very friendly. I see the palace elephants having their bath in the river all the time. I know Ananda's mahout too. We learnt that word in my class, mahout. We worked out that it was the elephant handlers and the elephant trainers, mahout. She'd only spoken to him once, but whatever. Ananda bent down and angled his leg dutifully. Chaya stood on it and hoisted herself onto his back, moving up so that she was sitting at his neck. It was good to be off her foot again. Ananda felt warm and reassuring under her. Miss Nawa, said Neil, turning to her. You next. Wait a minute. Nawa looked from Neil to the elephant. Where exactly are we going? Into the jungle, Miss Nawa. We'll be able to escape from the king's guards in there. Nawa's eyes widened. For the first time it looked like she realised what she'd got herself into. Serves her right, thought Chaya. Deep into that? Isn't it dangerous? Well, not as much as people think, said Neil. We have no choice, really. The king's men are bound to be searching the roads out of the village right now. We have to go somewhere they wouldn't think of looking immediately. But is there no other option? This can't be safe for humans. It's not that bad, Miss Nawa, really. Yeah, said Chaya from atop Ananda. Except for the leopards. Nawa went white. Neil glared at Chaya. Leopards don't attack humans unless they feel threatened. As long as we keep away from them, we'll be fine. True, said Chaya. A leopard hasn't killed a villager in, a whole week. Nawa whimpered under her breath. Oh, poor Nawa. Chaya's not being very nice to her. And the bandits, said Chaya. Don't forget the bandits. Chaya, you're not helping, said Neil. What, are we trying to convince her to come with us now? We've been over this, said Neil. She can't go back. Nawa looked slightly ill. Miss Nawa, trust me, this is the only way. Neil nodded towards the 2 sacks in Nawa's hands. Do you have salt in there? Salt? Nawa looked from Neil to Chaya. Why would I have salt? Chaya and Neil exclaimed a glance. It doesn't matter, said Neil. We'll be fine. Chaya groaned. Look, Neil, she won't be able to stomach a journey like this. Oh, stop it, said Nawa. I've gone on camel journeys through the desert that last for weeks. What's a camel? Asked Neil. Nawa's mouth fell open. Don't you dare, said Chaya. Neil had to stop going to school to help his family, and who cares about a stupid camel anyway? Nawa surveyed Ananda with something like suspicion. How fast can this thing go? This thing is an elephant, and he has a name. Ananda can go faster than you think. But how do you hide an elephant from people? It's going to be more of a problem to us than a solution. Chaya laughed. Ever been inside a rainforest? You're going to be so surprised, desert girl. The trees are like a canopy around you, so much so that sometimes even the sunlight can't get through. But won't you leave a trail of broken trees and stuff? There are herds of wild elephants in the jungle. It's a place of, wildlife. The sound of horses' hooves rent the air, much closer this time. We need to go, said Neil. Guess I'll be the mahout then, since no one else is volunteering. He picked up a stick and went to Ananda's side. Please get on, Miss Nawa, we don't have time to lose. Naua looked stricken as she backed away. Neil tied the 2 sacks together and flung the whole thing over and under, so each sack hung either side of the elephant's back. "Come on, Miss Naua, please get on. We need to get into the jungle." The horses were getting closer, and soon they could hear shouting. "Miss Naua, we'll have to leave without you." Naua scrunched up her eyes and stepped onto Ananda's bent leg. She flailed her arms at Chaya, who yanked her up onto the elephant's back. Neil hopped up nimbly behind them. "Go, Ananda!" shouted Chaya, rubbing her feet on the back of Ananda's ears. Ananda straightened his leg and rose up with a great swaying motion, making Naua scream and grab at Chaya's hair. "Stop it!" Chaya yelled. "Don't be such a baby." Ananda moved slowly through the wilderness, picking his way through the forest. Behind Chaya, Naua squealed and rocked as if she was on a boat and grabbed onto the elephant's hide. Chaya wasn't sure if Naua was scared or happy, but she was making a lot of strange noises. "Will you shut up?" she yelled over her shoulder. Ananda lurched towards the jungle, gradually speeding up. He crashed through the foliage, his powerful tusks smashing their way between gaps. Chaya ducked as branches scratched and tugged at them. With the jungle appearing just ahead, Neil tapped Ananda gently on the side and urged him on. Ananda gathered speed and barreled his way into the undergrowth, with Naua shrieking loudly as they plunged into its depths. Oh, how exciting! Who's on now? Oh, Brooke's on. Hi, Brooke. Miss Sherry's on. Hi, Miss Sherry. Mrs. Williams. Lizzie and Max, stop arguing. Teacher, look. And Blaine's on. Hi, Blaine. Oh, the next one's short. We'll have one more chapter. Lizzie and Max, I hope you stopped arguing. Chapter 17. You do realise we're making a getaway, don't you? Chaya yelled over Naua's shrieks. Naua was hysterical. She had tears running down her cheeks but was laughing as if she was on the rocking cart at the village fair. Neil looked behind them, checking to see if anyone had followed. "I think we're all right now," he said. They rode on for 15 more minutes, until they were quite deep inside the jungle. The trees became taller and Malkoha chirps echoed from their tops. "Stop, Ananda!" called out Chaya, squeezing her legs together gently. Neil slid down Ananda's side. "Chaya, you'd better stay on. Miss Naua and I will walk." He helped Naua off the elephant. She practically skipped down as if she couldn't wait to get away. Chaya watched Neil and Naua's heads bob beside her as they walked. They kept a leisurely pace now. The air was thick with the smell of lush greenery and damp earth. The forest was getting denser, although Ananda made short work of knocking down any obstructing foliage in the way. One foot crunched through a rotting log on the ground as easily as an axe through a plantain tree. "OK, we need a plan," said Chaya. "Yes, we're as safe as we can be for the moment," said Neil. "But once the king's men realise that we're not on the high road, they'll start to search the jungle." "I have an idea." Chaya rubbed Ananda behind his right ear with her foot, steering him gently round to the left of a fallen tree. "If we keep heading south, we should get to Gal. It's far enough for us to be safe from the king's men, and we can hide there till we work out how to fix things. That's where Vijay and his family are now." "That's the boy who got attacked by a crocodile," said Neil, for the benefit of Naua. "He's being treated by a medicine man there." "So, Chaya must have got the jewel to Vijay and his family at the start then. I thought all the jewels were in the box, but obviously the one... Oh yeah, did she keep one jewel separate, the most expensive one, to give to Vijay's mother so they could get the medicine for him to be treated? I think they did, didn't they? And the rest of them were the ones that got found and then where this all started. So he's being treated by a medicine man there. "And hopefully getting better," said Chaya. "We can trust Vijay's people to take a message to our families, so we could let them know that we're safe." Neil nodded. "That makes sense. I know Gal. Gal or Gale? Gal? Gal, not sure. I know Gal. I've been with Master. He does a lot of trade there. There are plenty of tiny fishing villages nearby we could go to, where nobody would have heard of any of this." "Great. All we have to do is get there without being caught, and then figure out what to do." Chaya sneaked a glance at Nawa. She hadn't the faintest idea what they were going to do about her. They kept to the sparser parts of the jungle, well away from the thick undergrowth. After an hour of walking, Chaya's stomach was growling. The sun was high in the sky when they stopped to rest. "I'm starving," said Chaya, sliding off Ananda. She gently put her weight on her foot to test it, and it felt only slightly tender. "I have some food in the bag," said Nawa, seating herself on a fallen tree trunk, as far away from Ananda as possible. Neil fetched one of the bags. Inside were 2 combs of ripe plantains and a bag of flatbread, and the fried sweets from the sideboard in Nawa's house. Chaya took a handful of the sweets and stuffed them in her mouth. They were sugared and crunchy, and she ate ravenously. She noticed Neil do the same, although he threw one of the combs of plantains to Ananda first. Said Chaya. "I've been dying to taste these ever since I saw them on your sideboard the other day." Nawa looked up from picking at her food in astonishment. "You didn't take any?" Chaya laughed. Nawa didn't know her at all. "No, I didn't." There was a sound of gentle rustling, and Chaya turned to find Ananda picking leaves from high above with his trunk. "Auntie must be furious," said Chaya. Neil looked down at the ground. "I keep thinking of my parents too." "That's the first thing we should do when we get to Gal safely," said Chaya. "Send word to them." "Mine will be glad I got away, though." Neil leaned back on a large upright stone. "They must be finding it so hard without my wages. Your father promised to help them, but I need to figure out how to get back to them, how we can all get back home. We have to find a way to undo all this, make the king forgive us, or disregard everything that happened." Neil said nothing to that, and Chaya didn't blame him. Just saying it out loud sounded so ridiculous. She licked her fingers and munched on a flatbread. "How about you, Miss Nawa?" said Neil. "Your family must be so upset. They don't even have any idea what you're mixed up in." Nawa nodded and looked down at her shoe. Something unreadable, like fear or guilt, flitted across her face. "We'll think of something," said Neil, but he didn't sound convinced at all. And I think we'll leave it there today. We're about halfway through already. Chapter 18 next. So I think we're going to find out something about Nawa and her family. I think there's something that they haven't told us about her family. Because it's a bit weird that she's just decided to go away with them rather than staying out of it, isn't it? Maybe she wanted to get away. Maybe her family aren't very nice or something. Oh, Mrs. Henderson's on as well. Hi, Mrs. Henderson. So I hope you've enjoyed that bit of the book today. We'll do this again tomorrow and read the next bit. Couple of things I wanted to say while people are watching. The first thing, tomorrow, Year 5's, is Tuesday the 31st of March, and we should have been at the zoo. We were so excited. We've been looking forward to it, haven't we? But it should have been tomorrow. So I thought maybe tomorrow was your something to do during the day. You could go on the Chester Zoo website, because there's loads of stuff on there to do, loads and loads. And also on loads of people, I think, did see this, but Chester Zoo have been live streaming the animals, so that would be another good thing to watch. So we can't all go to the zoo, but we could at least look at some animals and stuff tomorrow. The second thing, Mrs. Moody's doing a live assembly tomorrow at 11 o'clock, so tune in, just like this, for Mrs. Moody's assembly, because that'd be really good. I'm definitely going to watch that. The other thing to just keep your eye out for, this evening or maybe tomorrow, I'm going to be investigating starting a school YouTube channel so that we can get more videos of other people from school doing stuff like reading stories and things. So keep an eye out for that. And also potentially looking at Zoom. My class, we talked about maybe doing a Zoom call, a few of us, so I'm going to investigate that as well. Don't know what the assembly's about, I'm afraid. Sorry, Lizzie, don't know. So anyway, have a nice evening, everybody, and stay safe, and thank you for listening to the book, and I will see you tomorrow at 5 again. Bye, everyone.